Namaste to all the subscribers and welcome to Times Health Plus. I'm Ms. Vinita Sakpal, a senior nutritionist from the Yoga Institute, here to guide you all on this new weight loss series, which is Mindful Nutrition for Sustainable Weight and Energy Management. So, yes, we are meeting since this is the third week that we are meeting together, and since the week one, we are learning about many topics, many sessions regarding weight loss series, right? And the task which I'm giving to you on a regular basis, that is every week, I hope you are putting that effort to do those tasks. Okay, so before proceeding ahead with our today's session, I would love to understand that have you all done the task that was given to you in the last session. Last session we have worked upon how to balance our plate, right? We have learned about carbs, proteins, fats, and many more things. So I'd given you very small tasks to do for this week, and I think that you must have tried to balance your plate, right? So please put your answers that you did try to balance your plate consciously with all the awareness. Okay, and when you did this balanced plate, how did you feel before the meal and after the meal? Please give me one example that how was your digestion? How was your mood after consuming a balanced plate? So please put your answers into your comment box because that's where I'll understand your journey pretty well. Okay. Yes. Good morning, Jagdeep ji. So, Anil ji, excited for the session. Yes. Today we are going to really learn practical knowledge about many more things. But before that, just want to understand that you really had put some efforts into your previous given task. So put your answers, please. Simultaneously, I'll keep looking at your answers and we'll proceed ahead with today's a week, that what we are going to learn, we are going to rewire our emotional eating. So now this word emotional eating, I think we have discussed in our first session. So anybody who are in the first session, they're pretty easy to understand them, that what we are going to talk about. So whatever is this emotional eating, today you are going to understand that in more brief. You will get the practical knowledge about how to come out of that cycle of guilt eating. Okay, so we usually eat at wrong time, we usually eat with emotions, and how to come out of that cycle, today we are going to learn that. Along with that, we are also going to give you little more practical tips that you can apply on your regular basis, so that you are aware of your triggers and you will act upon it consciously. Okay, Jagdeep ji is saying consciously yes, but was traveling, so some constraints, but 70% compliance was there. Superb, very good. Because I really love the fact that you people are trying, and that's what we require. This is a gradual progress, and we are not looking for the perfection in day one, right? This is a long time. It's going to be a lifestyle change. So of course you have to go gradually. And I appreciate the fact that you tried. So very good. Okay, so let's move ahead with our today's session. We are going to understand about what is emotional eating. So, emotional eating in this word only, the very main fact that is coming is your emotions. Emotions are the one which are playing whole game in eating at wrong time. Okay, so what is happening in this emotional eating? Basically, so many emotions are getting aggravated throughout the day, that somehow, to overcome that emotion, an emotion which is making you a little stress, which is making you a little discomfort, to come out of that emotion, you are trying to replace it with a good emotion. And to replace that, what you are finding, you are finding one help. And help of what? A comfort zone. And everyone's, I think every individual's comfort zone is food, right? Yes or no? Everyone loves food. So food becomes a comfort zone. Why? Because since from your childhood, you have connected to the food, and you have realized that if I eat this sort of food, I am releasing happiness. I'm releasing all the good hormones, good happy hormones, right? You feel so better when you eat certain type of food. So that memory has been stored in your brain since your childhood. So in the adulthood or in the adolescence, when you get this emotional triggers, just to replace that trigger or that emotion to a happy emotion, you find that old memories, you find that comfort. Okay, so that's the reason your mind is so fickle, and your mind is so sharp, that that mind knows that during this situation what to crave for. Okay, so emotional eating is that when you are disturbed, when you are stressed, when you are bored, when there is nothing to do, where you are struggling with something, you end up having a comfort zone, so that you overcome that emotion. And this is very much called as emotional eating. And when you do this emotional eating, that time what happens, you don't realize how much you are eating, and because of that you end up overeating. And this overeating might be, it gives you little happiness for some times, but later you get guilt about it, you are regretting that you have eaten so much, right? So a food that you consume should never give you any kind of guilt or a regret, right? So emotional eating is something over which has come in your life over the time. Okay, it was not just like one go. It's that your body has built the habit over these years. Okay, so to get rid of that habit is going to be a task, it's going to be an effort that you have to take, but it will happen in some time. You have to put little efforts every day. Okay, so let's move ahead and understand a little more about the triggers. Okay, so what are these triggers? Now, let me tell you, there are some incidences that you must have noticed. Okay, Preeti ji say I do it all time. And yes, it happens. This emotional eating is pretty common in every individual. Okay, so there's this one situation that we all must have gone through, that whole day you must have followed a very nice diet, everything is going pretty well, you're working, you are in your workplace, you're eating on time, everything is going fine, but the evening times become little crucial. And in the evening times, usually after dinner, we tend to get little cravings. Yes or no? We do get this cravings, right? So now when you get this cravings, what happens is you binge eat at late night. So late night snacking is something that is happening, right? So you know that you should not do that, but still your body is asking for, and you end up doing it. Have you all gone through this scenario? I think everyone must have gone. Please put your answers yes if you have gone through these kind of episodes in your life. Okay, so why this happens, these are small triggers, usually happens because either you are of what, stress because of your work, because of the relationships, because of some hormonal changes that is happening with the age, or because of poor eating patterns, or if you are lacking of sleep or energy throughout the day, then you end up having certain wrong things at the late night. So which is the crucial time? Basically evenings are always crucial time for everyone to manage. Yes or no? Everyone is struggling to how to manage the evenings. So and today we are going to understand that more in detail. Okay, so these triggers, if you identify at the very first stage, then gradually you will learn to apply some practice where you can overcome these all habits. Now these are all habits which have developed in your body since longer time. So किसी habit से निकलने के लिए, to get out of that old habit, new habit need to be reintroduced, right? So how this new habit will work in place of old habit? So there is this one funda, or one sort of magic where you have to follow anything consistently for 21 days or 3 months. When you do that consciously, consistently, automatic your body will adapt the new habit and replace the old habit. Okay, so this is what research have been done, and so these days and months have come into the conclusion. Okay, so try this and let's see how we can work on this. So what we have done now, we have understood that there are certain emotional triggers. Now sometimes, since because we have so much of work, so much of household works, and we are so engaged into our daily activities, somehow we are not that mindful, somehow we are not that aware about, okay, these are the things that could be the triggers for me. So what you can do is, the people who are little engaged, or the people who are multitasking, should always do mood food journal. Okay, what happens in this mood food journal? It's basically you are putting data into a journal, that when your moods are getting swinged, when you're getting some different emotion which your body doesn't like, which you don't like, during that emotion, what foods you are trying to opt, what thoughts are coming in your mind, that you have to note. Okay, so initial 1 week, just write, and then gradually you will understand that what your body is often craving for, what your body is developing certain emotions, and therefore you can work upon that emotions, and automatically the triggers will be in control. So how, that we are going to learn ahead. But yes, this is the thing. First you have to understand the trigger. Number one is always understand the trigger. Okay, so this is a slide just to make you understand that you are going to get this PPT, this recording by our team. So don't worry, everything is going to be available to you. Okay, now let's understand this cycle, a guilt snacking cycle. Now what is this cycle? This cycle, every individual is ending up in this cycle. So what happens? So initially an emotion is being aggravated. Okay, so some emotions like sadness, maybe angry, maybe frustrated, maybe boredom, lonely, anything you can feel, right? So when the emotion gets aggravated, that time your mind, your body starts asking to soothe that emotion, to replace that emotion, right? And to replace that emotions, you try to find a comfort food. Okay, so what you will do, you will take the comfort food, like, you know, in childhood your brain has registered all the data, right? It's having the database. So when you know, in your childhood, when you eat ice cream, you get the good emotions, you feel happy. Therefore, when you are sad, you will end up having ice cream. So few people are prone towards the sugar and few people are prone towards the salty items. Okay, so individually it differs. So suppose now an emotion is aggravated, you will end up having something, your favorite food. Okay, so now when you are consuming that food, and usually you eat that very fast, right? Because you are so much engaged with your emotion that you end up having that food very fast. So in that fast process, what is happening, your stomach is filled immediately, you feel that you are overeated, and you will get happiness, you will surely get happiness, that thank god I have satisfied my emotion, right? And that happiness will remain only for smaller time, will not last for long. Okay, so that's the reason. After this, what comes next is the guilt, a regret. You will feel bad that, oh my god, I have eaten something wrong, and that too so much that now I feel bloated. Then again the emotion is bad, and then you end up again into that cycle. So whenever the emotions will come, you will feel like eating something that is comfortable, then you will enjoy that process, but later on you will feel guilty or regret about it. And then again this cycle just keep on happening, and therefore you will see what, a rapid weight gain, which is sometimes very shocking when you see your weighing scale. Yes or no? Right? Okay, Priya ji says that this happens quite often, night eating of sweets. Yes, very, very common that we end up usually having sweets or some desserts at night time. Okay, so we'll surely come to that, Priya ji. I'm glad that you people are putting so much of efforts put to share your experiences with me, where I can take those as an example and I can give you more explanation on it. Okay, so please be engaged. Okay, now let's see ahead how to replace this guilt snacking. You have to come out of this cycle, right? You just cannot be into that cycle for longer years. Somehow, if you just let it go, if you feel like it's okay now, what to do? This is my life. I have to manage it like that. Then what you will see is the illness, the diseases that might occur in the later ages. And to spend money on that, it's better you spend money on the healthy products now. Okay, so let's understand how to replace this guilt snacking with the mindful snacking. Okay, so now what you have to do is, whenever you get this emotional triggers, whenever you get it, you have to first pause and reflect and ask yourself a question. Am I really hungry? Is this a physical hunger or emotional hunger? Now, about these two terms we have talked in the session one. Physical hunger is the body that releases the hunger hormone at particular time, that is the actual hunger. And emotional hungers usually comes very strongly with a specific sort of food in your mind, that I want to eat this anyhow, I don't know anything, I want to eat that. So this is very sudden triggers that comes, and that they are emotional hungers. So you have to ask yourself, is this a physical hunger or emotional hunger? To do this, take minimum 30 seconds. Then and then only your mind will be able to give you the answers. If you are super hurry, then you will not understand whether it's an emotional hunger or whether it's a physical hunger. You have to be patient with yourself. So whenever you get the craving, pause, reflect, ask questions for at least 30 seconds, and then proceed ahead. Okay, so when you know that this is the trigger, this is the emotion that is triggering for certain food, what you have to do is, during that time, if with water you can satisfy your hunger, absolutely fine. But if you want to eat anything, then go for some healthy alternatives. So every food has its healthy alternative. Now if you crave for sweet, there are many people who crave for sugars. Okay, so if you crave for sugars, go for healthy natural sweets. Okay, for example, fruits. Fruits are the best alternative, best snacks to consume during such triggers. The moment you will put that sweet fruit inside your body, automatically your hunger will be satisfied. No more that craving will be aggravated. Okay, so fruit is one of the good sweet replacer. Second could be your dates, anjeer, raisins. These are natural sweeteners, so you can opt for these options also. Okay, if you crave for salty foods, then go for nuts. Nuts have naturally good amount of sodium inside them, so go for nuts, oil seeds. You can just roast and make a laddu out of it. That will also satisfy your salty cravings. Okay, so usually we end up having namkeens like chips, wafers, and chivda, farsan. So instead of that, go for your natural nuts and seeds. Okay, so the in market there are many options. It is said that this is the healthy product. So for example, like diet chivda, it shows the appearance is such that it actually looks like it's a diet chivda, but when you really see the ingredient list, that time you'll get the reality, which we are going to talk ahead about the nutritive labels also. Okay, so first thing what we did is we paused, we reflect for 30 seconds. Now if you still want to have anything, instead of water, you will go with the nourishing snacks, the healthy snacks alternative. Okay, apart from fruits and nuts, you can also have yogurt or Greek yogurt, but again unflavored and no adding sugar into it. Eat it as it is. It's a good probiotic, good for your gut health also, so you can have that also along with the fruit. If you want to club, you can do that also. Okay, so this is a good alternative option. Now after this, third thing what you have to see, you have to experience is, whenever you eat this healthy options, you should not feel that you are in a restriction or you are doing certain sort of dieting. Okay, it is, if you feel that way, then your journey will be progressive only for a short period of time, and later you'll come back to the original patterns. But if you enjoy the process, if you accept it with full kindness, and you make it like a self care routine for you, then of course you will enjoy and you will see the results of what options you are choosing, right? But if you restrict yourself, if you feel that you're restricting something, or if you feel some negative emotions after following the steps, then of course this is not going to be effective. So you have to tell yourself those positive statements that yes, I am enjoying this process, I am enjoying these meals, these are my favorite food replacements. So when you constantly give yourself this positive affirmations, automatically you will love and enjoy that progress. Okay, so this is how first you have to analyze your emotions, your triggers, and accordingly work on it. So gradually what will happen, gradually you're shifting from that emotional eating patterns into awareness, into mindful eating. Mindful eating is always when you are aware, when you are satisfied with what you are doing. Okay, so this is how you can replace. Now there are few more patterns or more techniques which can make you mindful, okay, which we have already discussed, but today from different perspective I'm going to make you understand. So number one is eating very slowly without any distraction, no screens. So we know this mostly, right? And even if you shut your screens and you eat your food, but if you have a person who is eating along with you, a company who is sitting with you and discussing something, your mind will be on that discussion, right? And you will end up participating in between. So what will happen because of that that distractions or this kind of discussion, it will make you distract so much that you will not realize that how much food you are consuming, right? And what amount you are consuming, or whether you're eating slowly, whether you're chewing it pretty well, or you're eating very fast and gulping the food, right? So usually this happens when you have a very short break and and you're already late for your lunch, and that time you just eat very fast. So this should not happen. If you eat very fast, you will not realize how much you are eating, and therefore you will get the hunger pangs immediately, because you have dumped the food inside your body. You have literally pressurized your digestive system to work on it, right? So overeating happens only when you eat fast. When you eat slowly, automatically you will understand when to stop. So first thing is be attentive, be in present and connect with your food. Okay, number two is about using all your senses to experience food. Now this is very important point, and being Indian, we do follow it, but sometimes we forget. So what the senses means, it's not only that seeing the food, smelling the food smell, the flavors, the fragrance. No, it's not only about that, it's about feeling the food. So the way you feel, the way you put yourself completely with the food, you will realize that the food is so tasty. Since childhood we have always done that, I like this, I don't like that, and because of this bifurcations, we are losing out with good nutrients, and therefore we end up in the deficiencies. And when we see that we are deficient, we start having supplements, right? So this is not a right way. If you eat each and every variety of the foods, you will automatically get all the nutrients. Okay, so now what does this mean, that you have to use your senses? Now, in lot of yogic text and Bhagavad Gita, what it is said, that you should eat with your hands. Now, why this is important to eat with your hands? First of all, these all hands tips has lot of the elements, the five Pancha Mahabhutas, which is air, space, fire, so water. These are all five Pancha Mahabhutas, which is sitting at your tip of your fingers. Apart from that, if you see from the modern science perspective, there are some nerve endings over here. Okay, so when you touch the food, the signal is been sent through this nerve endings to your brain, and then brain gives signals to your digestive system to lubricate. Okay, so before the food enters, a whole your system is getting lubricated, so that the food, when you put inside your body, can easily pass your GI tract, and the digestion happens pretty well because all the acids are released already. Okay, this is one point of eating with the food. If you eat with the fork and spoon, you will not get that signals. Okay, and therefore you end up either choking, coughing, or you will require some sips of water in between, right? So that's the reason eating with hand is important. Senses are important. Now, apart from this, Bhagavad Gita says that why it is so important to eat with hand is because to understand the temperature of the food. Because it says that too hot or too cool food is not suitable for the body. You should eat the food which is little lukewarm. Okay, not too hot, not too cool. And when you will understand that not only by seeing but by touching. So when you eat with the hand, you will actually realize the temperature of the food, and accordingly will put that food inside your body. Have you seen that when you eat the hot food, because you're already salivating, the favorite food is coming in front of you, and when you eat that hot food, your tongue is getting burnt, and the taste buds are going for the toss for few days. Have you all experienced this experience? Please put your answers in your comment section, because this usually happens with us. Because when a favorite food comes in front of you, you become so excited, so salivating, that you end up having that food hot, right? And therefore the tongue burns. So to avoid that, you have to always use your hand first, so that all the signals are being sent to your body, and accordingly you can proceed consuming food. That's the reason using all your senses is important. Okay, you have to be with the food, you have to make yourself shut from the environment, touch the food, feel the texture, chew it pretty well, mix it with saliva in your body, then and then only the digestion will be pretty good. Okay, third, practice gratitude before meals. Now what does this mean? That you have to be super grateful for whatever is coming in front of your plate. There should be no making faces, no not giving any kind of negative negation words to the food, that this is good, this is bad, this is something I don't like. Until and unless you don't accept the food the way it is, you will not enjoy that meal. If you start accepting the food, if you start loving the food which is coming in your plate, automatically a karela can also be tasty for you. So it's all about perspective, it's all about the way you look towards the food. So that's how you have to be so grateful and gratitude towards the food, right? And we all know that there are so many people that they are still struggling for the food, and we all are so grateful that we get food at every now and then. We are abundant with the food, right? And therefore, let's not take that so granted. You have to be very grateful that you have so much of variety throughout the years, and you can opt for these all various options and take all the nutrients inside your body. So that's how you have to practice this gratitude. Then and then only you will love the food, and you will build the good relation with the food. Okay, next, it is saying notice how your body is reading to the food. So reaching to the food, so basically this means that you have to you have to understand whatever the food you are consuming, how it is reacting, whether you feel better, whether you feel upset, whether stomach is not digesting pretty well. This will only understand when you will completely be with your food. Okay, so for every individual, the digestive system is pretty different. Few is going to digest everything, whether it's raw, whether it's whatever, if the gut is super strong. And few people will always have issues with digesting certain meals. Every day they'll see that stools are inconsistent, it's not of same shape, same color, or same consistency, right? Why this happens? Because of course, wrong eating patterns. Secondly, we are not being aware about what food is triggering your body. So when you are completely with the food, you will really understand that this is the food which is not suiting my body, therefore I'm not going to eat it. Okay, so this 4 points, if you practice on regular basis, you will surely come out of this guilt eating cycle. Okay, any doubt so far? Any confusion you have? Please put your questions in your comment sections if you have any doubt. Okay, now let's understand the crucial time which I was talking at the start of the session, that evening times are usually very difficult to manage, right? Evening times are like sensitive. 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and the late night binge eating that happens, we need to work on that. So how we can work on that? We have to first set a food cutoff time. What does this mean? This means that you have to make your routine such a way that your dinner and your bedtime has minimum 2 hours of gap, or maximum 3 hours of gap. So 2 to 3 hours gap, if you will start maintaining between your dinner and bedtime, your digestion is done properly, your assimilation is done, your absorption of nutrients is done before you go to sleep. Therefore your sleep cycle will never get altered. Okay, you will get sufficient sleep, you will get a sound sleep. You will see when you get up in the morning, you will not feel tired, you will feel more energetic. Why? Because all the process of digestion of your dinner is done before you go to sleep. Okay, so that's the reason this is very important to manage the time. 2 to 3 hours of gap between your dinner and bedtime is very important to manage, so that you will not even get the cravings if the digestion is properly done. If you eat slowly, if your meals are pretty light at the dinner time, if you have eaten good amount of proteins and fiber in your dinner, automatically your cravings will be less at the night time. Okay, now this is one section. Now even following certain things, or the dinner is pretty good, still if there is any kind of cravings that is coming and you feel like satisfying that craving, preferably try to go for liquids at night time. Okay, so when there is this wrong timing cravings that is happening, it's 12 o'clock, it's 1 o'clock, this is not the right time to consume it, but you still go to refrigerate to remove the chocolate and have. Before that, take a pause and replace that cravings with any liquid source. Now what does this any liquid source means? Doesn't mean that you can have the soda drink, doesn't mean that you can have fruit juices, the tetra packs. No, big no. You should have the healthy liquids like vegetable soups. You can go with the herbal teas, homemade kadas. You can go with matcha tea. You can go with green tea if you want. You can go with yogurt if you want. But these are something which is not going to give you more calories, right? You can make lemon water. You can make mojito without the soda. You can make you can have coconut water. Anything is fine, but it should be liquid and healthy liquid. Because sometimes the triggers are coming only because you have nothing to do at night time. There is boredom, there is no activity given to yourself, and therefore you end up having something sweet or salty at night time. Okay, so try to replace your cravings with the liquids. Now, apart from this, the third and very important point to overcome this kind of wrong eating patterns is when you get these triggers. Okay, this triggers usually comes because of the emotions, right? Because of the stress, because of the boredom, because of loneliness, because of some kind of disturbances. So this comes when you're vacant, you have nothing to do. So instead of doing nothing, do some activity during your guilt snacking time, during this craving time. What activities you can do? Choose any of your favorite hobby. Do your hobby, whether it's drawing, whether it's creativity, whether it's reading a book, whether it's gazing to a sun, moon, stars, or whether it's listening to a soothing music at night, or you can you can play a small game with your kids at night time, or do a meditation, a soothing guided meditation, so that the sleep is being promoted. Or you can do a journaling, you can do a to-do list for the next day so that you are relieved that what to do next, right? And of course you can also go for a nature walk. Okay, you can go for a nature walk when wrong timing cravings are coming. Go and connect with the nature as much as possible, because nature heals. Nature takes all the negative energy from us and put in all the positive energy within our body, right? Because we are inhaling the good vibration, good energy, good prana inside our body. So that's how you feel fresh whenever you go to a beach side, whenever you go for a nature walk. So whatever is convenient to you, do that. Because until and unless you don't give an activity to yourself, you will either end up having something wrong things, or you will still keep on binge eating. So therefore this activity is very important, and replacing all your cravings with the liquids is very important. Okay, so this is the three things which you can practice for evening routines, that is, which is pretty sensitive for everyone, every individual, where you can practice this gradually every day. Doing at least one step at a time will make you realize that yes, this is working for me, and gradually you will be motivated to do the next steps also. Okay, so this is how you can work on your triggers. Okay, so this was all about today's session. Okay, what we have learned so far, we have learned about emotional eating habit. It is a habit, it's not a flaw. What do you mean by habit? It is something that has come into your life very gradually. It is not something that has come suddenly into your life, right? So gradually you are just focusing on that poor eating patterns, and that has become like an habit. So this habit can be changed. Habit can be changed at any time, any age, any year. It can be changed. It is not so difficult task. It's just that you have to be consistent, you have to be motivated, you have to be disciplined, and therefore you will see your old bad habits will be replaced with the new good habits. Okay, so that we have learned today. Second, we have learned to rewire the relationship with the food, to connect with the food, to understand food, to love the food, and that's how your relationship with the food becomes more positive. Okay, and number three, we learned about that you have to be focused on the awareness and not the restrictions. If you take these all things like a restriction, that you will feel like this is too much for me because I'm going on a dieting, then of course this is not going to work for you. But if you accept it with all the awareness, with all the positiveness, you will surely able to work on your triggers and all your negative points gradually and reach your health goal. Okay, so this was the takeaway that we have learned so far. And this week's action plan, what you have to do this week, let's discuss that. I hope today's session you have understood what I was trying to tell you, right? Okay, so what you have to do this week, see, every week I give one task, and I think that if you do this task, gradually you will come into that pattern, or gradually come into that new habit, that automatically you will realize that certain things are wrong in my regular lifestyle, and now I have to work on it gradually. So, and because you have to give your results or whatever you're doing, you have to share with us, you'll be more aware that I want to do it on regular basis, I am going to do it daily. Okay, see, one day if it's getting missed, 2 day it's getting missed, it's okay. But third day, if you're aware, if you know I have to do it, you will do it. Okay, so this is how you have to come into that pattern. So what I'm giving you to do in this week is you have to go sugar free in on the Sunday for 24 hours. Okay, you have to go without added sugar. Now see, this added sugar has a big definition. It's not that you are adding sugars from top into some recipes. That's so there, that is there. But apart from that, there are many hidden sugars which we are unaware. Okay, so this hidden sugars are where? These are all present in the packaged product which we buy. We think it's healthy, but it's actually not healthy. Okay, so this packaged processed products have hidden sugars. So note this word which I'm giving you, note this down. What you have to see at the back of the product, the reality is always at the back and not at the front. In front they'll write all the gimmicks that this is no sugar, this is fiber rich, but reality is always behind. So what you have to look for, in the nutritive label there is added sugar section below carbohydrates. If that is zero, good to go, that product is clean. After this, second step, what you have to see is below that nutritive label there is an ingredient list. Okay, in that ingredient list there will be some scientific names of sugars. What are those? Note that: maltodextrin, maltodextrin, maltose, sucralose, high fructose corn sugar, sorbitol, aspartame, sucralose. So these are few names of added sugars which are there inside the product and we are unaware. If the names are ending with ol, which means there is sugar alcohol inside it. Xylitol, maltitol, sorbitol, these are all sugar alcohols which you have to avoid. If they are present in your product, avoid that product. This is how you have to be so strict with yourself. Then and then only you will heal your body. You know, sugar is a slow poison. So try to avoid sugar as much as possible. So for 24 hours, you have to go with no sugars. Okay. So when you are going in this no sugar day, 24 hours, what you have to observe is how is your mood? How is your cravings? How is your energy level? You have to note it down. Okay. And if you want to success in this challenge, what you can do is always refer to the food labels which is written behind the packets. Second is focus on the whole foods. What is whole foods? Whole foods are those which are very less processed. Any product which is not undergoing into process is the natural product, is the organic product, and go for there. Okay, for example, fruit will be a whole food, but fruit juices in a tetra pack is the processed and packaged version. So what you should choose? You should choose for whole foods, the natural food, which is fruit and not the tetra pack juices. Okay, this is how you have to identify and choose the right option. And lastly, hydrate yourself sufficiently. 2 to 3 liters you should consume water regularly so that all the toxins which you accumulate inside your body on regular basis will be released from your body and the nutrient absorption will be optimum. Okay? Yeah. So this was your task for the week. Don't forget to follow us on social media, because you have to post whatever task we have given to you on our social media platform on Instagram, YouTube. You can, our handle name is Times Health Plus. So please be in connect with us on that platform and share whatever the task you're doing on regular basis over there, so that I'll understand your journey and we'll surely keep discussing about it on every session. As you all know, every Saturday at 11 a.m. we are going to meet to discuss about many practical sessions and theoretical sessions on your weight loss journey. So for today, this is all which we have learned about the mindful eating, and the task which I have given to you, you have to do it and put all your answers or put all your practicals that you have done on the social media platform. Okay, so thank you for today's session. But before going, we have to understand what we are going to learn next. So let me just tell you in a very short thing that in next session, we are going to understand the basic pillars of eating patterns which will make your fat loss journey optimum. So there are many pillars which we are going to discuss in the next session, and also some 7 small changes that you need to do on regular basis so your eating habits becomes more better. Okay, so these are all practical tips which you are going to get in the next session. So please be connected so that you will get the understanding of all the pointers or practical tips that requires for your weight loss journey, which has been stubborn since longer years. Okay, so that's all for today. Let's proceed ahead with the Q&A session. Okay, you can put your questions in the comment section. So that's how I'll answer all your queries, and we'll make sure that we discuss it in detail so that every other is getting benefit out of it. Okay, Priya ji says this happens quite often. Okay, Manya ji says yes. Amit ji, any tips on liquor habits? Okay, now liquor habit is a very big topic to discuss upon. So what you have to do is, we all know that liquor is not good for the body. It's not going to serve any good nutrition for the body. But since you are into that habit for longer time, to come out of it becomes a task. So what you have to do is, if I'm giving you one example, if you are drinking specific amount, for example, if 60 ml, if you're consuming for 7 days, for week 1, try to consume for 6 days 60 ml. Then comes to 5 days, then comes to 4 days, then 3, 2, 1. And then what you have to do is, for that 1 day, reduce the amount. 60 ml, say 30 ml. Okay. Now shift from the darker liquor, which is the hard drinks, to distilled liquor initial days. Then from distilled liquor, you have to go in dilution, no taking stronger liquors, and then gradually reduce the amount for day 1, that is 30 ml, or if less, good and well. And then if you're consuming that in 7 days once a day, then make it 15 days. In 15 days you're consuming once a day. Okay, then after that, in a month you're consuming once a day, then in 2 months you're consuming once a day, then occasionally. So this is how you can get rid of this liquor habit. And of course, initially coming from you have to just get rid of that hard drinks and come to the distilled, which is much better than the hard drinks, and then you can reduce the amounts. Okay, so this is the long process. Of course, we'll talk in detail if you consult to a healthcare provider, but for now this is what you can practice. Okay, Jagdeep ji says, how about chewing a handful of kurmura in case of hunger pangs? Of course, handful is fine, but not more than that. And because even kurmura is only a carbs, right? It doesn't have that amount of proteins into it or a fiber into it. So handful is fine. You can club it with a roasted chana, unsalted ones. So it becomes a good carb protein combination. And handful is of course fine. It's okay. Okay, Manyaji says, informative session, loved it. Thank you so much, Manyaji. I'm glad that you are able to relate what we have learned today. Any other questions? Please put your questions. We have good amount of time. We can discuss everything in detail so that you will get the answers. Plus, others will also get the answers for their doubts. Okay. Okay, Prasanna ji says, how about adding honey as an alternative to sugar? Okay, now let's burst the myth. Okay, okay. So this sugar, honey, jaggery, all are sugars. Okay, all have same calories. What is the difference between this? Sugar, superly processed, therefore it is high in calories. Honey is also high in calories, but it has little more minerals compared to the sugar. And jaggery is again made from sugar or made from sugar cane, and it is again same calorie, but it has little trace of iron because it is made into iron vessel, so extra mineral. So we always think about the extra thing that we are getting, but we are neglecting that it contains same content of sugars. So the calories which you get from these three things is absolutely same. So if you're going for no sugar challenge, you have to avoid these also. See, on daily basis, if you are avoiding the actual sugars, very good. But if you want to introduce honey and jaggery, it should be only and only 5 grams per day, not more than that. Okay, Prasanna ji? But for this 24 hours challenge which you are doing, in that just try to avoid all the food sugar sources which have sugars. And later, if you want to introduce the honey and jaggery, you can, but only 5 grams per day. Okay, fine. Next, okay, Handy Wandy is saying, but fruits also have sugar. Which type of sugar are high in sugar and we should be avoiding? Okay, fruits have sugar, but they are natural sugar. They are not processed sugar, first of all. And the fruit which have is the fructose sugar, which is a natural sugar. Okay, it's made from glucose molecules only. They are fructose sugar, and therefore fruits also you should consume only 2 fruit per day, not more than that. ऐसा नहीं है कि fruit allowed है, so you can eat multiple amount of fruits. No, you should consume 2 fruits per day. That is more than enough to get the nutrients which you want from the fruits. Okay, second question, she was saying that which type of fruits are high in sugar. Okay, so there are 4 categories in fruits. One is the pulpy one, जिसका skin भी हम नहीं खाते, the skin we don't consume. So for example, banana, papaya, these are the one which we don't eat with the skin, so they are pulpy ones. Okay, they have a lot of pulp inside it. Second category is the citrus fruit. Third category is the water based, high water which is present inside the fruit, which is watermelon, muskmelon, cantaloupe. These are all water based. And last category is the fruit with good amount of fiber, and we eat the skin also. Okay, so fruit with skin, for example, apple, pear, we can have that with skin. So in these 4 categories, the pulpy one are of high fructose, high sugar is present, natural sugar is high, fructose is high compared to the other. So others you can have little more in amount, that is fine. But this pulpy ones you have to be little careful that you should not consume it more than 1 serving. Okay, otherwise it's fine. Okay. Dazalian is saying, hi, sorry, couldn't join from the start, but could you kindly suggest a diet for someone going through a perimenopause? I have gained lots of weight and having morning and night flashes. I understand your case completely. See, before understanding your routine, before understanding your past history, before understanding your childhood history, your lifestyle, your eating patterns, your complete day recall, I won't be able to make you understand or give you the solution that what exactly you should eat. Okay, because for that it requires a detailed consultation. So I would request that if you want a consultation, you can always connect with us. But for now, I can just give you a small brief understanding that perimenopausal phase is very crucial for a woman because a lot of hormonal fluctuations are happening inside the body. So you have to make sure that you replenish good amount of phytoestrogen so that your estrogen levels which are depleting is not depleting too fast. You have to make sure to prevent this hot flashes, the night flashes that you have, you should eat something that is cooling, like chia water or sabja water or gond katira, which is a cooling agent. You can do shitli shitkari pranayama because it's very cooling for the body. So apart from that, make sure you eat sufficient amount of water based food so that the heat has been reduced from your body. So watermelon, cantaloupe, muskmelon is one of the good options. Okay, for now you can try this, practice this. Hydrate yourself sufficient 2 to 3 liters, and still you require a consultation, you can always connect. Okay, next Handy Wandy is saying, when we have watermelon, is it fine to have the seed and or can dry fry it and have it later? No, no, you can have it along with the seeds, no problem. And if you want to even dry it and have it, it's fine, but don't fry in the oil. You can roast it. Okay, without oil, you can roast it slightly and it will become little crunchy, and even the bioactive component will be little more active. So you can have that way. Okay, so it's absolutely fine to chew the watermelon seeds, but make sure you're not eating too many seeds at a time. It might be little acidic also. Okay, I hope I have answered your questions. Any more questions? Please put your questions. We have 5 more minutes. We can discuss in detail. I'm glad that all you are putting that amount of efforts to, clarify your doubts, relate to the food, relate the health issues that you are going through. So I'm glad to see that. Of course, apart from this, whatever we have learned so far, I would love that you put things into practice gradually. Thank you, Handy Wandy. Thanks a lot for your time and appreciate it. Even I'm really grateful that you people are enjoying the sessions. Glad that you are able to relate what I'm trying to say. So please, my only motto is to, make you understand what we often forget. We are not aware about, right? We are just going into our daily lifestyle. We are rushing into updating certain things, meeting the deadlines, and we just forget about our health. We don't realize that in this hosh posh life, health is something, a body is something that we have to look for. If you are ignoring that, then later you have to spend more time along with the disease and illness. So better you take the cure now. Okay, Pratima G says, can we eat fried chicken? How a fried chicken could be healthy? You tell me, Pratima Ji, why you think the fried chicken is good for consumption? I want your answer, your perception, your understanding for this fried chicken. What is the reason that you feel that fried chicken is healthy to consume? So ideally, it is not healthy. The reason is when we fry anything, the food is sucking lot of oil inside it. Okay, and since our flame is high, or even if we are doing in slow medium flame the food preparation or cooking, still the oil is being penetrating inside that food very in high amount. And because of that, when you even remove from the flame and you put it on the tissue paper, whatever the excess is of course getting out, but there is still extra amount of oil which is sitting inside that food product. So fried is big no, shallow frying is also big no. Instead of that, go for grilled, maybe steamed, baked, tandoor. These are the better options, I would say, but not the fried option. Okay. Dazilian say, I take soak coriander, cumin, soft ajwain overnight and drink it in the morning. Is it a good start? Absolutely a good start, but just avoid ajwain from it. Rest all is fine. Coriander, cumin, soft, all three are very cooling for your body. So you can definitely go for that. Ajwain, what you can do is, even though it's good for the digestion, you can have it alternate days or maybe like 2 or 3 times a day along with the CCF. Okay. Okay. Kavita ji says, my 19-year-old daughter is 45 kg. Can you suggest some diet for her healthy weight gain? Okay, let me just make clear to everyone. I cannot give anybody a diet plan in one go because I don't know the back history of that patient. I don't know what that person is going through since her childhood. What is her eating pattern? What is her mental state? What is her, the way her lifestyle is? I am unaware. I don't know her family history. So, of course, I cannot give you the diet plan, but I can give you a little suggestion to weight gain is a person should have very small frequent meals every 2 to 2 hourly. Small quantity, but every 2 to 2 hourly. And when you maintain that thing for longer duration, weight gain will happen gradually. Make sure into each meal there is proteins, there is good amount of carbs and vegetables, then that person will be able to gain their weight. Okay, and they have to be very calm, composed, positive in whatever they are doing, because usually the people who are lean tend to be little proactive, very active. So you have to calm yourself. You have to give rest to your body as much as possible, so that whatever food is getting converted into energy, that energy need to be stored inside your body and not to be used now and then. Okay, so you can of course try that. Ashwini ji says, is it okay to drink water during a meal? No, no, big no. Never drink water during a meal. Water should be consumed half an hour before and half an hour later. Okay, the reason is our digestive agni, the fire is sitting inside your stomach, and that time it's high. If a gas is on and you put water on it, your gas will go off. How your food will get cooked? Similarly, your digestive fire is sitting inside your stomach. When food is going, it need to be burned, it need to be cooked pretty well inside the body. If you add water in it, of course it will delay your digestive time. Okay, that's lead to bloating also, because extra water takes a lot of space inside your body also. So avoid water along with the meal. Okay, Mandarji says, does egg with yellow yolk increases cholesterol in the body? If you consume too much, more than one in a day, then of course it's going to increase the cholesterol in the body. But one yolk per day is absolutely fine. But if you are in a high cholesterol range now, then try to avoid for now until your cholesterol levels are better, and then you can reintroduce one yolk per day, absolutely fine. Okay, Dazilian ji says, thank you so much from my side. Prakash ji, last question I'm taking. Recently, I started taking water, kefir every day morning instead of coffee. Is it okay? Absolutely fine. If it's suiting your body, please go with it. Kefir is very good probiotic, good for gut health. It will release good gut bacteria, which will digest your food pretty well. And of course, it will clean your large intestine, where the nutrient absorption will happen optimum. Okay, so good. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I think today's session was super interactive. I have answered all your questions, and I would love if you do the given task for this week and share your snaps on our social media platform, Times Health Plus, and we will connect again in the next session next Saturday. Till then, eat with awareness and take care. Namaste.